Well, hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. We have some games in store for you today, and I'm excited to be hanging out with you as we get ready to play some trivia today. So while you're here, if you are getting set up, I would encourage you, if you have an extra device handy, that you will want to grab that for the game in the website we're going to be using. You're going to see some information about how to log in. It is menti.com, menti.com, and there is a code in the description that will be able to get you signed in. That code is 404618. And we're going to take a few minutes to let some more people hop on, and hope you guys have been enjoying this beautiful spring day, and would love to hear what you have done to take advantage of this beautiful weather that we are finally experiencing. I hope that you will have gotten outside today and been able to play or go on a walk. And so I know I did that this morning, and it was great. And while we wait for a few more people to hop on and get logged in, I want to give you a couple of updates of some great things coming up. We have tonight, through our Toledo Calvary Facebook page, YouTube stream, a live Q&A that I'm excited to be a part of, along with a few of our other pastors. And so I would encourage you guys at 8 p.m. to hop on for that. You can find that, as I said, on Facebook Live, and you can find it on Toledo Calvary's YouTube channel. And if you haven't done so already, I would encourage you to go out, search that, subscribe, and even click the bell so that you can get notifications whenever a video is posted, a sermon is posted, or a video goes live. And while you're on YouTube, you can subscribe to our CSM channel. It is Calvary Student Ministries. You'll see our logo on there. Do the same. We'd love to get you subscribed, and click that little notification bell so that you can stay up to date whenever we go live and post videos. And in case you didn't realize, Easter is right around the corner. I know this world has been crazy the last couple of weeks, but we are excited to be celebrating Easter this year and are going to be having a great online service taking place. So next Sunday, during our 3 morning services at 8:15, 10, and 11:45, we're going to be broadcasting our Easter service. We really hope that you will come out and watch that with your families. Excited as we get to celebrate the resurrection of our great Savior. And so as you are getting set, I hope that you will have signed in. We're going to be doing a trivia day today. And so with your device and using that webpage, menti.com, you will be able to sign in and compete, and we're going to see who's got the most random trivia knowledge. And so categories are going to be everywhere today. They're going to range from sports to pop culture to Bible knowledge, as well as just some random stuff. And so we're going to test how well-rounded your trivia knowledge is, and are excited to dig in and get started with this. I'm going to give just about 2 more minutes if you have not already done so. Again, you can follow the prompts on the screen. And again, tell us what you've been up to this week. We'd love to hear it in the comments below, wherever you're watching with us from, and are excited to get started with this. And once you sign into that webpage, it's going to ask for a name. You can put your name, you can put a nickname, just know who you are. And we're excited to see who's got the best trivia knowledge for this. And so we have about 20 questions that we're going to try and get through here in the next time that we have together, and are just so thankful that you joined us today. So let's do this. We're going to get ready to get this started in just a minute here. And so if you have another device, or if you want to share where you're watching from, then you can join into this. Again, it's menti.com. The code is 404618. And we are ready. I see we've got a bunch of people hopping in here. And let's give it 1 more minute before we get started. And would really encourage you. We've got some great stuff coming up on CSM's social media accounts in the next week. So stay tuned. We're going to be putting a schedule out for this upcoming week's activities and times. We've had some great connection times during our online life groups. And so I've heard some great stories of connections. in the way that we've been able to have some face-to-face conversation, and how important that is in this time where we are socially distancing ourselves, and a lot of us are spending a lot more time at home than maybe we wish we were. So a great time. Those take place Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. And then we also have some hangouts that take place at 3:30 on Tuesdays. And so if you want to jot a note down or remember that, we would love to have you hang out. I think we're going to try and launch a middle school one this week. So middle school students who are hanging out today, man, would love to connect with you. And so I think we're about ready to get this started. And so we're going to begin here. The way this works is that you will see on your cell phone screen or whatever device you are using the questions that are being asked, and there will be a 5-second countdown timer before you can click your answer. You will get points for each question that you answer correctly. If you don't answer a question at all, you get 0 points. But you also get points if you answer it the fastest. So the longer you take, the more or the less points you are going to get. And so that's a part of this game. So we're going to see who's got the most knowledge and who's the winner at the end of all this. So I think we're ready, and let's begin with question number 1. And we're going to dig into it. What is the name of the movie that Michael Jordan starred in along with the Looney Tunes? Fastest answer is going to pop up here. And let's see who we got. And so our answers here, you can pick from Kazam, Space Jam, and Like Mike. And a lot of you are probably wondering, what are these movies? Because they are before your time. So here we go. We're coming down to it. And it looks like Space Jam was our correct answer, and it looks like everybody got it. Congratulations. Question number 1 was easy. These are going to progress, get a little bit harder as we go. But here we go. Let's move on now to question number 2. Question number 2 is this. In the Bible, the city of David is called, and your options there are below: Bethlehem, Jerusalem, and Babylon. We're going to test your Bible knowledge here, knowing the city of David is called. And I'm excited. We're going to get our results right here, and we'll see who's got their knowledge down of this. Okay. A lot of Jerusalem answers. There we go. Jesus was born in Bethlehem, and the city of David was called Bethlehem. So there we go. There we go. All right, that's going to create a little bit of a separation here as we go into question number 3. Question number 3 is this, and you're going to see it in just a second. Which country invented tea? And so, tea drinkers, hopefully you know the right answer to this question. Answer fast to get the points that you need for it. And here are your options: England, Ireland, and China. And you know what? This one was a little bit tricky, because I think in first idea you would think that England is the one, but China is where tea is invented. And so correct, 25% of you got that correct. Let's move on. We're going to see where we're at in our leaderboards at this moment. And it looks like Michaela is working her way up there in first. Way to go. It is neck and neck, though, for second and third place. But we're going to move forward here and go on to question number 4. Right here, question number 4. Which American state is the largest by area? And your options here are going to be Texas, Alaska, and California. Texas, Alaska, California. Which American state is the largest by area? I will say I've been to one of those 3 states, and that state is the great state of Texas. But those of you who answered Alaska are correct. By area, Alaska is the largest state in the United States. And so 55% of you correct. And so there we go. We're going to move on now to question number 5. Question number 5 here. As it comes up, what is the periodic symbol for potassium? So in case you haven't been studying, we're going to test your knowledge right here. Your options are K, PT, and PA. So here we go. What is the symbol for potassium? Our results are coming in. Well done. I'm proud of you, students. I'm proud of you for getting this answer correct. There we go. 73% of you. Moving on now, we're going to go into a sports question, and unfortunately the Olympics have been pushed back, but this question here, how many gold medals did Michael Phelps accumulate during his Olympic career? Your options are 28, 23, and 21. And I can remember that one year when he won, I can't remember how many it was, but man, 55% of you got that right. He has won 28 medals, but only 23 of those medals are gold. And I say only like that wasn't an accomplishment. But well done, Michael Phelps. You made it very fun for us to watch those Olympics. But here we go. We're going to move on to our next question. Oh, we got our leaderboard already. Here we go. We're going to see who has moved and changed positions here. Wow, it is neck and neck from the results that we're seeing here. Exciting to see. Making some moves and moving their way up. Michaela, Justice, Brienne, you're working your way in there. A lot of game left to play, a lot of time for you to catch up. But let's do this. Let's move on to our next question. Here we go. Another biblical question, testing your Old Testament knowledge. Who was Jacob's brother? Who was Jacob's brother? Your options here, Esau, Isaac, and Abraham. Well done. I'm glad none of you picked Abraham. But Esau is the correct answer. That is correct. Isaac was his father. And so, moving on there, here we go. Next question. This is a personal question about Pastor Matt, which Pastor Matt, if you're watching, congratulations on your baby. She is beautiful. Excited to meet little Selah. But what was Pastor Matt's first job? First job for Pastor Matt. If you've known him, you should know this answer. But here we go. Dad joke specialist, Chick-fil-A cow, cafeteria worker. But yes, in case you did not realize, Pastor Matt was the Chick-fil-A cow when it was the only Chick-fil-A in the mall food court. And so you probably passed by him at times when he worked there back in high school. Pastor Matt, we're glad that you've moved on and become our high school pastor though. Well, let's do this. Let's go on to our next question here before we see where we're at on the leaderboards. This question here, how many hearts does an octopus have? And your options are 1, 2, or 3. How many hearts does an octopus have? We're going to wait for our results to come in. And in case you're just joining us, we're excited that you're watching, tuning in. Hope that you will join and play in here. And wow, proud. I'm not going to lie. I found this question and double checked it because I did not remember that an octopus had 3 hearts. But that is correct. The right answer is 3 hearts an octopus has. Very nice. So I think we're going to see an update on our scoreboard here. And making their way and building their lead by just a little bit. But I am amazed at 2nd through 4th place, how close this is, how exciting. But Michaela is still commanding this lead. And so there we go, moving on to our next question. Next question here, going back to sports, for all of you sports fanatics. What sports organization has won the most championships in their respective league? Your options are the LA Lakers, and that's the NBA, the New York Yankees, which is baseball, and the New England Patriots, which is football, American football, that is. We're going to see where our results are coming in. The New York Yankees, for those of you who guessed right, that is correct. They have won 27 championships, if I remember right, off the top of my head. So they are Just a winning franchise. Great answer there, New York Yankees. But moving on, next question. After 5,000 people were fed by Jesus, how many baskets of food remained? How many baskets of food remain? Testing your New Testament Bible knowledge right here. Your options are 7, 15, or 12. Pick wisely, remember, and let's see who gets it. There we go. 54% of you correct. 12 was the correct answer. Jesus, after multiplying all of that bread, ended up having 12 baskets left over. Truly amazing. Here we go. Next question, though. Moving on. Pop culture. Here we go. Let's get your music taste in the store. Who topped the Billboard charts with the single Love Yourself in February of 2016? 4 years ago. Who topped the Billboard charts with the single Love Yourself? Justin Bieber, Harry Styles, or Taylor Swift? Results are in. And that is correct. Justin Bieber is the correct answer. And so, I was not a fan of Justin Bieber, but my wife was, and that album was on repeat. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of like that song. Anyways, moving on. I think we're going to get some results. Updated scoreboard here. Moving in. Oh, boy. We're making some moves. Holy smokes, Brienne, you're coming up. You're making your way. You're knocking at the doorstep of Michaela. Excited to see. There is a battle, though, for third place right now. But just so you know, we still have a good amount of questions left that any of you, this can be your chance to take a leap right here. But let's go on to our next question. What is the best-selling video game of all time? Best-selling video game of all time. Your options are Minecraft, Super Mario Bros, or Tetris. We're going to wait here to get our results in, to get all the votes. Minecraft, which I know so many people have bought and played. And the correct answer is Tetris. And in those numbers were also included the cell phone downloads, the mobile downloads, and Tetris in all time is one of the most downloaded games, one of the most purchased games. So Tetris was the correct answer. Only 14% of you got that correctly. Minecraft is number 2, so I can see why you picked that. But moving on, we're going to go to our next question here. Biblical question, going back to the Old Testament. At what age did Moses die? And if you've been in CSM, we've been talking through the transition from Moses to Joshua. And so at what age did Moses die? The options are 98, 120, or 300 years old. Results are coming in. And we're going to see who. 50% of you got it correct with 120 when he passed away. 300 was not correct, though a large portion of you picked that. I know just because he's in the Old Testament doesn't mean he lived to be 300. Moses was 120. But here we go. Let's go on to our next question. For all of the coffee lovers, let's see how well you know your knowledge here and where your taste preference lands. Which country produces the most coffee in the entire world? Your options are Kenya, Colombia, or Brazil. And I will say, personal preference, Colombian coffee is my favorite, but I will drink just about any of those. But if you gave me the choice, and I even have some right now, some Colombian coffee. But for those of you who picked Brazil, Brazilian coffee is correct. They are the largest exporter of those. And so that is the correct answer. And I think we're going to see where our leaderboards are here and see if there's been any change in the polls. So let's see where we're at. The results are coming in, moving up. Woo, somebody's making some runs there. Juice making your way into third place, commanding a little bit of a lead over everybody else, and just behind Brienne and Michaela. And I believe we're about to jump into some of our final questions. So here is your chance to make a difference. Let's move forward. Here we go. Next question. Personal question for those of you who know me. I am a huge Star Wars fan, but what Star Wars movie is my favorite? Your options are Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Episode 4, A New Hope, or Episode 7, The Force Awakens. So let's see if you guys can guess and know. I know I've had many Star Wars conversations with a lot of you, but what is my favorite movie? And 43% of you got it correct. Revenge of the Sith. I grew up in that era, and so for me, when those movies came out, I love all Star Wars. I love it all. Let's clarify here. But my favorite is Revenge of the Sith for the way that it ties in the old and branches into Episode 4. Great movie. I might have to watch that while I'm quarantined right now, but let's do this. Let's continue on with our next question. How many times does the heart beat per day? How many times does your heart beat per day? And here are your options for answers. More than 10,000 times, more than 100,000 times, or more than 75,000 times. Here you go. You're going to want to pick the one that's closest to that, though technically we will find out here. More than 100,000 times is correct. For those of you who picked that, 62% of you got that question correct. Your heart will beat more than 100,000 times per day. And if you're exercising, I imagine it will do more than that. But here we go. Let's go on to our next question. Oh. Which member of the boy band One Direction left the band in March of 2015? I'm not going to lie. I had no idea what the answer was to this. I know some of you who were big One Direction fans, though. And for those of you who have still followed some of them as they've gone on their solo careers. But your options are Zayn, is it Malik, Harry Styles, and Liam Payne. Which one of the One Direction guys? The correct answer is Zayn for the 42% of you who got that right, but I can see that it was a little bit all over the board with that question. And here we go. We're moving in to our final update of the leaderboard before our last 3 questions. We have 3 questions to go. And making some moves. Okay, top 3 stayed the same, but some others who are making their way in, now is the time. Remember, the faster you answer these questions, the more points you get. And just make sure you don't miss them. Here we go, our final 3 questions. Next question is this. Another Pastor Matt question. Pastor Matt has 3 favorite hobbies, but which one is his favorite? Your options are disc golf, which he does love that. Dad jokes, which you might ask if that's actually a hobby, but for him it is. And lastly, video games. Pastor Matt loves all 3 of those things, but which one does he love to do the most? We're going to see where our results come in. And again, 43% of you said disc golf, and 43% of you are correct. Pastor Matt's favorite hobby is disc golf. In the wintertime, he watches the YouTube videos, wishing he could be out there. He has tried to get me to go play in the snow, and I say absolutely not. I am not freezing my fingers off. You go back to your YouTube videos. But let's move on to our second question here before the end. What year was the very first model of the iPhone released? What year was the very first model iPhone released? 2001, 2009, or 2007? We're going to wait for our results to come in. And so I can remember when Verizon finally got an iPhone, I was so excited because I believe it was AT&T was one of the only ones. But for those of you who guessed 2007, you are absolutely correct. 50% of you, that is. 2007 was the very first model release of iPhone. And so crazy to think how long ago that was. And yet it seemed just like it was yesterday. But it is time for us to move into our very last question before we determine who is our trivia champion today. Last question is this. When was the last time the Cleveland Browns went to the Super Bowl? When was the last time the Cleveland Browns went to the Super Bowl? Your options are 1987, 1964, and lastly, never. Which it seems like it's never. But then again, they have made some runs where they were good, but a very, very, very long time ago. And I don't know when that's going to happen again. The correct answer is never. And there you go. 36% of you got that correct. In the 60s, you would think Jim Brown was doing something great for them, and as he was, but not to the Super Bowl. So here we go. We are going to find out our results and our winners for today. Get ready. I'm full of anticipation to see. And there we go. Brienne overcame Michaela for first place. Congratulations, Brienne. Michaela, you were up at the top that entire time, and I have a feeling down to our last question there was the determining factor for this. And so, Brienne, we're going to be following up with you. We actually have a prize for you, and so if you want to actually shoot me a message, I'm going to connect with you about getting you your prize. And we want to thank all of you for joining us today. I hope that you had some fun with us. Excited to be hanging out with you some more in the coming weekend. Tonight, just a reminder, there's going to be a live Q&A that I will be a part of. Would love for you to come out, ask some questions, kind of interact with us online as we continue to have some fun with each other through our technology. So thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. We'll see you all later.